Hello everyone and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, my Degeneracy knows no bounce. We're gonna Dimir Bounce again, but with Aetherdrift, we got some really cool cards for Dimir Bounce. Cool cards, it's kind of a way to say it. We got a Momentum Breaker, the 2 mana, start your engine, and then also, when this enchantment enters, each opponent sack a creature or vehicle of their choice. If they can't, they gotta discard a card. And then we also have the Grim Bauble, a 1 mana, -2, target creature gets -2/-2. And then, well, we can also pay 3 to sacrifice it to Surveil 2. So, now, this deck has ample removal in the early game, and then the sustainability of the mid-game comes with our Stormchaser's Talon, which will overrun our opponent. But there is one hidden card that I think some people have been talking about. It's actually not new, it's old, but it is new to the standards because we haven't had it in a while, and that's Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce got rotated out with Kamigawa and came back in Aetherdrift. It's an insane card. It's a 1 mana counter target non-creature spell unless they pay 2. And this is very important in a current metagame because this deck basically beats every deck, but it could get overwhelmed by a unsuspecting combo. Guess what? Spell Pierce counters that combo, and now they're screwed. So that's the whole idea of this deck. Now let's talk about the whole deck list. So in the early game, we're going to have 4 Spyglass Siren, 4 Stormchaser's Talon, and 4 Hopeless Nightmare. These are our turn 1 play. This is to make sure that if we need lands, Spyglass Siren can get the map token to try to get us lands with Explore. The Stormchasers, or if we need to tempo our opponent, Stormchaser's Talent can give us our 1/1 Prowess Otter and just do the damage. And then if we need to disrupt our opponent's hand, Hopeless Nightmare does that. Now, there is a question about which one would you play first if you have all 3. And my decision really depends on what is our follow-up. And that makes it a big deal, right? So normally you don't Spyglass Siren turn 1 unless you have nothing else. What you want is either Stormchaser's Talon or Hopeless Nightmare. And that depends on if in our hand is more bounce spells or more tempo spells. If we got Fear of Isolation or this town ain't big enough, perhaps we go for Hopeless Nightmare first and just get multiple cards out of our opponent's hand. If we have cards like Floodpits Drowner, Nowhere to Run, or a Kaito maybe, and we'll probably want to play Stormchaser's Talon first to get more tempo on board, and we will have removal or a tap down with the Drowner. Alright, so that's kind of the idea. And then we follow up to turn 2 with 4 Fear of Missing Out, 4 Floodpits Drowner, and then those are also our on-tempo play. Fear of Missing Out, or not Fear of Missing Out. Fear of Isolation can bounce maybe a Stormchaser's Talon, but ultimately we want to bounce our Hopeless Nightmare. And a Floodpits Drowner can be a flash speed, tap down one of our opponent's attacker, or tap down one of the creatures they play, so that in turn 3, they will have no blocker. If they have no blocker on turn 3, we cheat in a Kaito. Kaito, the Bane of Nightmares. So that's kind of the idea about what this deck curves into on the active play. And this is why this deck is so insane, because it has the active plays, and the active plays out a very good Planeswalker on turn 3 that's very difficult to interact with because we have Hexproof on our turn, and our opponent's turn is just a Planeswalker, and we should have board presence so much so that it's very difficult for them to attack down. But this deck is not known for just its tempo play, it's more known for its interaction. So, we also have interaction plays on this side here. We have already talked about 2 Spell Pierce in the deck to counter our opponent's non-creature spells. It's not going to counter everything, but it does catch them off guard and stops a combo piece like a Zombify or something that could blow us out. And then once we stop them, we try to kill them the turn after, or maybe 1 or 2 turns after, before they get to replay it again. Or replay a different one. And then we also have 3 Grim Bauble. This is very important in this deck because it kills a bunch of rats. And Grim Bauble is also a great card to bring back with Fear of Isolation. So we can turn 1, Grim Bauble, because we're always going to go second, right? Turn 1, Grim Bauble killed their 1-drop. Turn 2, Fear of Isolation to bring back Grim Bauble, and now we have more removal in hand. Turn 2, or a 2-mana removal, 2-mana interaction, we're going to have 3 Momentum Breaker and 3 Nowhere to Run. These are very good removals that either stops Hexproof while giving -3/-3, or force our opponent to discard if they have nothing to sacrifice. So this is very good. Momentum Breaker also is a pseudo life gain at some point because we start our engine and then we can sacrifice it to gain life equal to our speed. So we might be able to gain 2 to 3 life at maximum 4, but that's not too bad, right? 2 mana to make our opponent sacrifice sacrifice a creature or discard a card, and then 2 more mana to gain 4 life. I think that's fair. And then, yeah, quote-unquote fair. And then, of course, we have 4, this talent ain't big enough. This makes the whole deck work. This talent ain't big enough, returns all our cards and give our synergies back. Meanwhile, if we target one of our permanent, we can also target one of our opponent's permanent and bounce that back to their hand and watch them struggle as we gain all the tempo and they get nothing. And of course, we go to the lands. Lands, of course, 22 lands only. We gotta go fast. So 5 island, 3 swamps, 4 dark slick shores, 4 gloom lake verge, 2 restless reef, and 4 underground rivers. You can see that almost all of our lands is going to come into play untapped, other than the Restless Reef, and then we get the dual color lands as much as we needed to. Gloom Lake Verge starts off on blue. A lot of our deck is blue, so I think that's good enough. Of course, we would like it to have 2 Verges that starts on black, but they don't make that. So 4 Gloom Lake Verge, all starting on blue, but we have 8 basic lands to activate the Verges anyways. Darkslick Shore is fine. The Ping land might hurt a little bit, and the Momentum Breaker might help in mitigating that pain. So that's the whole idea of this deck. I still think this deck is insane. Let's go into the game and see how it will do. Alright, our opponent is the Limelight. Alright, let's see how limelighting he is. He gets to go first, and all we have is Ping land, so he's definitely limelighting. Alright, he's Dimir. We're also Dimir. He's got a cut down? He's got a cut down right away, but okay. I don't know what kind of Dimir still runs cut down, though. If you're gonna run cut down, wouldn't it be better just to run the ball? Oh my god. I just realized. Third Ping land. Alright, we're gonna get very painful on. So I guess we do that. Yeah, just... Let me get painful on. Turn 2 nothing, huh? Well, that's interesting. I could Fear and bounce the Stormchaser's Talon. Do I do that? I don't really have much else. I could activate it, but I'm pretty sure he would just kill in response. So maybe I attack. No, I think I Fear first. Yeah, there's interaction. That's for sure. Man, we've taken so much damage from our own cards. He's got a quick study. What is this deck? I have no idea, but all I got is Ping land, so I don't think I can... Okay. First non-Ping land of the game. Anything else I want to do? I could Fear into another Stormchaser's Talon. I think he's just going to go wide. I mean, he's just going to board wipe. Cut down. Do I want to let this cut down happen? I guess I can bounce it in response. Let me get my value out. Also pump the 2 otters. Waste his cut down. It's all technically something. 3 steps ahead as a counter spell? Okay. We still pump the otters. So you got it. Alright, now I can do this since I don't really need to use my mana for anything else. Stormchaser's Talent. I think that's pretty good, right? Might just be a board wipe coming anyways. Not putting a Talon in the graveyard in case there's a deadly cover-up. Not that he can cover anything up right now. So, we'll start with the Stormchaser's Talon, and maybe he'll counter it. Negate. You got it. We have another negate. Go for the throw. Alright. Deal 5 damage here. And we are sort of running him out of cards. Not quite, right? He's never going to run out of cards entirely. Oh, another Stormchaser's Talon. Okay. Well, what do we do here? Do we Talon again? We can get Otter for talenting again, but just leveling this up gets us our nowhere to run. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Not nowhere to run. Not this talenting good enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, if I level this up, I mean, he can just block with the Reef. So I don't want to... Do I want... Yeah, you know what? Let me just... Not sure, huh? It's pretty good. Let me get my prowess on. He's letting that happen. Maybe he's fountain porting? Not gonna use a reef? Okay. Gotta go to full control mode. We're gonna drown this fish. Feels like he has a kill spell. Anoint. We drown the fish. It's down to 1. The last card, Deadly Cover Up. Mr. Limelight. No, now he doesn't have enough for Deadly Cover Up. You can -2/-2 to the board if he has it in his deck, but that's not good enough. GG. Okay, after an hour of waiting, we're finally back in the game. Opponent goes first. We have no 1-drops, but removal, and Drowner, so I'm gonna keep. Leyline of the Void. What? Scavenging Ooze. Well, let's just break their momentum right here. Get that out of here. Grim Bauble is also good, but not great. Start attacking with this. Start your engines. It's doing something. Okay, he's mana screwed. Do we double flip it? Just double the clock? Yeah, let's do that. Seems like a fine time to do just this kind of dumb stuff. Our engine's really revving. Oh, he's got black mana. 4 lands. Galissa, huh? Cool. Alright, let's kill Galissa. Spyglass Siren is just... Let's just map 1 and see if we can get a bigger attack or a land. Bigger attack it is. It also tells him Kaito's coming. Don't think they want a Galissa here. This is just a beating. Oh, he's gonna hurt himself. And for what reason? Tranquil Throwback. Okay. What would you... And they didn't even use the mana. Oh no, he's gonna use the mana. On gaining 4 life? Destroy? Oh my god, that's... 100% wrong. No, he's gonna gain 4 life. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, GG. Yeah, there's no way to get out of that. Well, he was a swift one, alright? He swiftly lost. Alright, our opponent is Justice. Hey, it's this guy. I played him before. 1337. I think it was just playing aggro. Back in the day. He's probably going to do it again. Alright, we got 4 lands in the deck with 22 lands, so that's not great. 2 of them are ping lands as well. But we got a discounting big enough with a momentum breaker, so it should be able to break most aggro decks. Are they aggro though? No, they're Dimir. Oh, never mind then. So we're screwed. They definitely get to go first with the momentum. They're just gonna make us discard our cards. Fear. Yep. Why would I do that? Attack a creature. It's really annoying when opponent goes first and they get their good draws and we get this stuff. Okay. Now we're talking.
I've always out of the shadows and into the fray.
They got a sack or something?
My
Do I want a Grim
sharp
Bauble?
as my sword.
Grim Bauble against their deck. I mean, the Spyglass Siren is pretty good. Don't know if I want a Grim Bauble as much. It only surveils, right? I don't really want just a surveil. I don't even know if I want the Siren. I have a Siren in my hand. There, that's a good card. Another Nightmare. And quit! Haha! Got him. Justice. Man, I love beating up a Justice. Alright, our opponent is Kaito. That's not how you spell Kaito. Alright, we get to go first. Nightmare. Go first. I'll take it. Lots of removal in his hand. Let's see if I get punished for trying to Nightmare turn 1. You never know, maybe they got an obstinate ballot. Maybe they got the leech. Okay, they're red. Well-deserved loss. Probably have another one of those, right? Heartfire Hero. Okay. I think I know where to run the Heartfire Hero. I can momentum break it, but yeah, I don't think it's necessary. Let's see what he does. Optimistic Scavenger. If that's the case, I think I know where to run the hero right now. Because if he plays the +1/+1, it gets 1... Oh yeah, no, it's too much. Can't protect in response. Because yeah, otherwise it gets 1, 2, 3, so it becomes a 4/4. Right now it's a 1/1. There's no way to pump it out of it. Right, his Shardmage Rescue does not pump the Heartfire Hero out of it. It dies, it deals no damage. Can I draw a third land though? That's going to be important. If I cannot draw a third land, it will be an uphill battle. Okay, he blocks. I do draw a third land. That is great. So I could Floodpits Drowner it, but maybe it's better just to momentum break this. Yeah, take his creatures out of the board. Will force him to play more harshly. He's gonna have more creatures, right? No? Alright. You got no creatures? I have creatures. My creatures will drown you. Drowner attack! Alright. Again, they're gonna take a beating. You're gonna plot more cards. Good. Go plot as many cards you want. It's not gonna matter. Let's get the clock going. Ooh, 2 this town. 2 this town is insane. Our clock is knocking him out. Gonna knock him out the window. Do I want a momentum break? Does make him discard a card. But nowhere to run is a removal. Like a definite removal, right? I don't know. I mean, I have a nowhere to run that I can always use again if I want. Let's go for the attack first. He's cooking me. I think he's ready to lose. I don't think he can deal 20 damage to me in one turn. And I'm definitely dealing the next 3 damage next turn. We also have a discounting big enough with a nowhere to run on board. This is what I want, because none of his hexproof is going to matter. Since he's got nowhere to run. We can also just bounce a Nightmare for the last bit of damage. You got it. You can have that out. Bounce that and bounce my Nightmare. Can't protect it. Nothing you have can protect your Heartfire hero, so it gets bounced and he's got nothing. GG. Also, he took the 1, so now my Hopeless Nightmare is just lethal. That was brutal. But they deserve it to play red. Alright, our opponent is Taron. Eldrazi Avatar, it's always kind of scary. We go first. Now, this is a questionable go first. I mean, obviously I'm keeping his hand. The question is what I'm going to do with it. Right? Do I want a Talon or do I want a Hopeless Nightmare him? And I think the answer is Talons. Hopeless Nightmare is good at like disruption, but he's got 7 cards, so I'm not disrupting much. Whereas in Talons, you know, kind of make him do stuff. I guess I just attack for the 1 and play a Drowner next turn or something. Cut down. Just gonna have to play something, right? Okay, their oars off. Oh man, can't stop that. So they're gonna be reanimating? Okay. That's a deck. That's a deck that I'm gonna wish I had more cards. I guess the Floodpits Drowner isn't gonna do much against that deck. I did draw a land, that's pretty important. Let's get our Hopeless Nightmare going. Pretty sure he's not gonna care about this card. Well, maybe he does care. I wonder what he... I mean, he has so many cards. Discard the Oculus. He'll probably reanimate the Oculus. Ketramos. Yeah. I suppose. What does it have? Menace lifelink indestructible. Any surveils 1. Alright, let's bounce both of these. I could bring him down to just 2 cards. Don't think that's worth as much. I will be tapped out, but you know, it might be worth it. Is it though? Is it worth it to bring him down to just 2 cards? Because I can't attack with this, so I don't know if that's worth any of that shenanigans. But this town ain't big enough. I mean, I'm bouncing one of his stuff, maybe? Okay, he had nothing here. Oh, that's pretty good. He's got 4 cards. I can momentum break him. I don't know what he has, so... yeah, I wish I had more lands. He knows I have the Nightmare. So he knows that's coming out to get him. Just gonna attack like this. Slow roll it. Go for the throat. Alright, let's break the Ketramos momentum. Is that a counter spell? Big block prankster. Oh, now he's got 2 cards left. Which pretty soon will be 0 cards left. Now here comes Oculus. Just when I had it all, huh? Couldn't draw the land, so it's fair. Okay, draw the lands now, but what do I do with this Oculus? Guess I want to see how he wants to attack, right? Or how he wants to block. Blocks like that. Well, with blocks like that. He's at 7. Ketramos again? I don't know if that's the card you want to bring back. But okay. Maybe I just take this damage. So every time he exiles, he loses a life. Does he have 7 cards in it? Oh, he does. Right? He does have 7 now. So I guess I have to return Ketramos before he gets the life gain. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's only 4 damage. It's not quite there. Floodpits Drowner. Drowner is interesting. I can tap down the Overlord, so he doesn't get the attack. Discard it. Get rid of it. feel like he can flip this. That's why there's a stick, right? That's gotta be it. We'll drown your overlord. So no attack to get back the Ketramos. Fear of isolation. I don't think I do that. Level 2. Bring back this town. I mean, what is he gonna do? Trade? I don't mind a trade. Less variables on board. What was it? Okay, pick lock pranks. Ketramos cannot attack with it. I think that's GG. Good game. Oh, okay. Nightmare for 2. Yep, that's a GG. I don't know why he stayed. He knows that was gonna happen. We got through the Ketramos. Just for the relentless nightmaring. Alright, our opponent is In Existence. I don't know why when I saw this name I thought it says Evanescence. And that song just came to my head. Anyways, that's a good hand. This is blue mana only, black mana. Well, not black mana, but Dimir mana. I can get both. They are also gonna nightmare me. Okay. They're gonna duress me. I mean, they'll probably make me discard the nightmare, right? Discard the bauble. Oh. Interesting. Well, I got nothing else to play. Do I just nightmare them? Turn 2. Yeah, I mean, if they play a bat, I can't stop it anyways. I don't think there's an instant or sorcery that I want to counter on turn 2. Turn 3 is Annex. There's a bat. Yeah, turn 3 is Annex, so... just gotta make sure that I have my mana up for the Annex. If they play a Slasher, I can actually kill it. I don't know if our opponent knows that. So there's a little trick here. We'll go to Pass. Alright, and then we'll Drown the Slasher. And now that it has a counter on it... oh, never mind. This is a lot better. I was gonna say, now that it has a counter on it, I can know where to run it. But... don't think I do that now that I have... you go to Kaito. Also, by returning the Drowner, I can do the trick again later.
This is where things don't worry, Pom Pom Chan. I've got this.
Do I want another
I've got
Kaito?
your feet 6 different ways.
Do I want another land? Why did I draw that land? Okay, Archfiend. Did we just kill this Archfiend here? We can drown the Archfiend. Now, let's just tap it down.
You're not going anywhere.
Okay, so what I want to do next turn is to Floodpits Drowner. And also maybe spell Pierce. I don't need 2 nowhere to run, so Restless Reef can come down. Also, he's just gonna kill himself with the Archfiend if I just keep tapping it down. That's not very good for him. Alright, any instant or sorcery will get countered. Bloodletter is fine. I guess he's trying to lethal that way. Now we can show him what's up. First, let's do this. Alright, this will make it a 4. Play a land here.
I thrive in the dark.
You can also attack with this. If he blocks, I can know where to run it. He doesn't block. Alright, we're able to deal a lot of damage. Now, do I care about this Bloodletter? You're gonna attack me with the Bloodletter? Don't think I care, so let's put this out. Yeah, they're both gonna stay tapped, so they're not gonna do anything. I guess the Bloodletter can attack Kaito. Sure. Gonna know where to run your bats. Yeah, now if he attacks Kaito, he dies. So he needs to keep up a blocker now. He gets to see my hand, but he already knows one of those cards. Nowhere to run. Spell Pierce. Now you're the one with nowhere to run. Would you still like to attack? He does not attack. That makes sense. But I can just tap it down. So that's GG. Oh, another beating. I guess we woke him up. Alright, our opponent, I'm not reading that. Zixu Zix. Okay, go first. Go first with Nightmare. I'm gonna say I keep. Now, I could go first with Nightmare, or I can go first with Siren. I still think I Nightmare, right? Nightmare into Fear is pretty good. Or... So yeah, the thing is, I can Nightmare into Fear, which brings back Nightmare. Or I can Spyglass Siren, turn to nothing. Yeah, that makes no sense. Let's just limit their play as soon as possible. And then we can limit their play even more. Duress. Oh, see? Yeah, there's less cards for him now that he duressed my board. If he wants to duress the Nightmare, I'm okay with that. That's a card out of his hand if he durests the Nightmare. If he bats into this, that's also okay too. I don't really worry too much about that. Nowhere to run. Cool, cool, cool. We Nightmare them again. And then we get our double Siren on. Then we can press. Oh, Unholy Annex, okay. Unholy Annex is a little bit scary. I think we'll be okay. Yeah, that... okay. I'll take that. Kaito's ludicrous. Cut down our 2/2. Alright. What else you got? Draw another card. It goes down to 9. He can kill the Kaito because he has nowhere to run, right? That's less than ideal. What do we have? I guess I can hardcast Kaito. There's no reason to cheat out Kaito. I can hardcast Kaito. Yeah, this way he can't respond to our Kaito. He has to. Both of these are good cards, right? Momentum Break makes him discard a card, or sack the creature if he has a big creature out. So yeah, Fear. Let me take that first. So if he wants to kill Kaito, he can. But if I did that with the ninjutsu to bounce back Spyglass Siren, I might be able to get an extra map. But, oh, what? Did he choose the wrong one? I'm confused here, but whatever. Okay. Down to 5. I got a Kaito. What is your plan there? His plan is to block Kaito? No. I think this lethals him. Sack a creature. Plus. GG. Yeah, what? Why didn't he choose Planeswalkers? Kaito was a Planeswalker. Even though he's a creature, he's still a Planeswalker that turn. Alright, GG. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you've seen all of those crazy, bouncy games, how do you like this deck? Do you think this is as insane as I've said it is? At the beginning, I thought this deck would be unstoppable, and as I played through it today, I'm not going to say that it's unstoppable just because I got mana screwed several times. I would say that I got mana screwed maybe 50% of the games I play, which is insane. That's even on Arena, that seems like a rigged stats. But we do only have 22 lands, so I'm gonna give it to Arena. That's maybe it's fair to get mana screw that often. And when I say mana screw, I mean we don't draw our third land. If we only have 2 lands, we can play most of the deck. But we can't play Kaito, and we can't double spell in a turn, and that really hurts, right? So only drawing 2 lands and still be able to win does make this deck kind of busted. But there's a little bit of fine-tuning that I think I would like to do. So, number one, I think Momentum Breaker is a fantastic card, but I did feel like it might have been overblown. Because in a few games where I was playing against weenies, it doesn't do anything, right? So our opponent goes wide, Momentum Breaker just make them sack a 1-1. So maybe Momentum Breaker isn't as good as Nowhere to Run. So maybe it should be a 2-4 split rather than a 3-3 split. That's still debatable because, again, I haven't played that many controls today. But if the meta kind of simmers down and there's a lot more control out there, I would like to have more Momentum Breaker. If they have no creature, Momentum Breaker still makes them discard a card. So I don't know. I think I'm still kind of on the fence about which one. Should it be a 2-4 or a 3-3 as it is now? The Grim Bauble, it's a good card. And I think it would have worked a lot more if I had drawn them. I had 3 in the deck. But against every rat deck I played, I've never drawn the Grim Bauble once. And a few games I had to lose because, well, I only drew this and I didn't draw any interaction, except the Spell Pierce. And yeah, those games are not winning. So Grim Bauble. Do we go down to 2 Grim Baubles? Is 3 enough? Should we go to 4? And my current answer, at least for how I feel about this deck, is we can go down to 2 Grim Bauble, but I want to go to 4 Kaito. I feel like a lot of the games, if I had a Kaito, I would have won more consistently or more sort of overwhelmingly. So I would much rather have a Kaito than to try to find my Kaito. And since there's only 3 in the deck, there was a few games out there where I just couldn't find a Kaito and just had to overwhelm them with Stormchaser's Talon, which isn't bad. Don't get me wrong, that's still a win is still a win. But I feel like if I had a Kaito, I can dig a lot deeper with Surveil 2. I can make my board wide, taller with the +1. And then I can also tap down our opponent's creature with the stun, which might help us push through the damage enough. So, yeah, this Dimir Bounce is different from the last one because it's not just focused on bounce. It still has a lot of bounce spells, but we're not running cards like Get Out, and we're not trying to win with just bouncing the Nightmare. We're trying to get board presence and still hit our opponent. Maybe 10 damage from the Nightmare and 10 damage from the Talons. Still a very strong deck. I would still say, even in best of 1, top of the top tier, there might be a few decks that's currently the contender for the number 1 deck in the metagame, but I think this puts a strong showing. That's really all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.